Kiss.
It's your boy, my case Smith, also known as Akins, also known as the coolest guy in sports. Back with another Who's Better. This time I have Eric Bledsoe and Isaiah Thomas on the menu. Who is better between the two? Eric Bledsoe, who played 74 games this past season, 31.4 minutes per game, 17.7 points per game, 47.3 from the field, 34.7% from the three-point line, 3.8 rebounds, 5 assists per game, 0.6 blocks per game, 2 steals per game, 79.5% from the free throw line. Isaiah Thomas, who played 32 games this past season, 26.9 minutes per game, 15.2 points per game, 37.3 field goal percentage, 29.3 three-point percentage, 2.1 rebounds per game, 4.8 assists per game, 0.1 blocks, 0.5 steals, 89.3% from the free throw line. That being said, who is better between the two? Now, Eric Bledsoe is a great two-way type of player. He does a lot of good things on the basketball floor. He can rebound, he can score, he can play defense. And, you know, he's a decent starting caliber point guard. Is he going to be the type of player that's going to take your team over the hump? No. Is he going to be a solid player that can probably help your team maybe compete for a playoff spot? Yes, that's what Eric Bledsoe is. Now, we've seen Eric Bledsoe be the go-to guy with the Phoenix Suns, and he wasn't that type of guy. He wasn't that type of franchise leader that the Phoenix Suns thought he was going to be. Eric Bledsoe blamed a lot on the Suns organization, but to be honest, the Suns organization traded out Gordon Dragic, they traded out Isaiah Thomas, and they gave you the keys to the franchise and said lead them into the promised land, and you wasn't able to do that. And we've seen Isaiah Thomas lead a team to the Eastern Conference Finals. We've seen Isaiah Thomas be the best player on the Boston Celtics. We've seen Isaiah Thomas come up clutch in the regular season and in the playoffs, had a 40-point-plus game in the playoffs, dropping big moments after big moments. And we know that Isaiah Thomas this past season, he had a terrible, terrible season. He tried to fight through an injury where he should have just opted out to get the surgery because he was trying to prove everybody that he's still the same type of player before he got hurt, because he was trying to get that massive contract. He should have just got the surgery. And basically he was playing with Cleveland. They didn't really mesh well. Got traded to L.A., played a few games at L.A., but then opted to get the surgery. And he was only 26 minutes, 15.2 points per game. His field goal percentage was really down. His three-point shot was really down because he needed the surgery, so he was still hurt. He was playing through an injury. But that being said, though, if I had to pick between the two, if both are healthy, I would pick Isaiah Thomas over Eric Bledsoe in a heartbeat, because I've seen Isaiah Thomas do all the things that Eric Bledsoe has not shown he's capable of doing. People gave Eric Bledsoe an excuse for years, saying he's with the Suns. If he was on a better team, he would be this type of player. He would be a superstar. He would be a much better player. So he got traded to the Milwaukee Bucks and played with a superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he really didn't have an impact. And we saw him in the playoffs, got roasted, got cooked, got embarrassed by Scary Terry. They gave his brother a nickname when he was dominated over Eric Bledsoe. And basically, Scary Terry made Eric Bledsoe look like he shouldn't even be a starting point guard in the NBA. That's how bad Terry Rozier torched Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is supposed to be a great two-way player and a great defender, but he didn't show up. So all that narrative that if you put Eric Bledsoe on a playoff contender or title contender, he's going to be a great player. To be honest, Eric Bledsoe is the type of player that's only going to be good on a mediocre team or a team that's barely going to make the playoffs. He's not going to be a great starting point guard on a title contender. That's why it's been rumors out in Milwaukee that they're still looking for a point guard, even though they traded for Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is one of those players that put up empty stats. Like in Phoenix, he looks like, he's the best player on the Phoenix team. He's averaging 23 points per game, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. And I call it empty stats because those stats do not translate when they're playing on games that actually matter. And when you can't perform when the lights are brightest, when it's time to show and prove what you're really about, if you're really a superstar. That's what separates these guys from superstars to stars to potential all-star type players to role players. People have been overrating Eric Bledsoe his whole entire career, saying he's a star, potential superstar. No, Eric Bledsoe is an all-star caliber player, and sometimes he can be a role player. Let's call it is what it is. He got torched by Scary Terry in the playoffs, wasn't even guarding Kyrie Irving, and basically, I bet some people in Milwaukee want Terry Rozier as their starting point guard over Eric Bledsoe. But that being said, though, if I had to pick, I'm picking Isaiah Thomas, if healthy, over Eric Bledsoe because I've seen Isaiah Thomas be clutch. I've seen Isaiah Thomas be the go-to guy. I've seen Isaiah Thomas not have any fear against nobody when he's 100% healthy. Now, he's going to play with the Denver Nuggets. He's going to come off the bench, and basically he has to show and prove that he can still be a viable player in the NBA. This is make or break year for Isaiah Thomas. But you know what? Isaiah Thomas has overcame adversity his entire life. So I'm going to bet on that guy all the time. And I'm going to take my money, and when I'm placing my bets, if I had to pick who's better and will have the better upcoming season, I'm going to pick Isaiah Thomas over Eric Bledsoe. Even though Eric Bledsoe had the better season this past season, but that's partially due to the fact that Isaiah Thomas was hurt this entire past season and he didn't get the surgery. And still, if you look at basically the field goal percentage was the only thing that was really, really better than Isaiah Thomas. I mean, Isaiah Thomas was very off this year shooting the ball, but he's a better shooter than Eric Bledsoe. Everybody knows that. Those percentages can say what they want to say. Everybody knows that Isaiah Thomas is a better shooter, better scorer than Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe is the better two-way player, defender, because he's taller, he's more stronger, and yeah, but if I had to pick, though, if they're both healthy, I'm taking Isaiah Thomas over Eric Bledsoe. But what are you guys doing? Let me know in the comments below. Are you rolling with Eric Bledsoe or Isaiah Thomas? I told you who I'm rolling with. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell because I bring you daily NBA videos and in-depth player analysis. This is your boy, Mike K. Smith. Also, check out some of the links down below. I got my podcast. Go follow me on my Twitter. And most importantly, go follow me on my Instagram. My sports channel is blowing up on IG. Who is A-Kiss? That is me. I'm gone, man. Peace.